Good morning, you lovely West Ham fans. Happy Friday. We made it. Made it to the end of the week. Match day tomorrow. Can't wait. Today we're going to talk about Tomas Soucek and we're going to talk about my mate Gonzo. Who almost sent me off the edge yesterday. I'm going to address it, Gonzo. I can't help it. We need to have a debate about this. I'm going to debate my side of it very, very shortly. We're going to go on to talk about Sam and Moyes in their tippy-tappy interview yesterday. What an amazing panel. Brilliant. Can you just two managers that hate West Ham fans sat together? What could be better? And it's an Alvarez. Is he going to make it for the weekend? So Tomas Soucek and my mate Gonzo. Right, so I always watch a Hammers Chat videos, by the way. Always do. Love those guys. They're very similar to us. Very similar. Different style. But in terms of freedom of expression, they don't take themselves too seriously either. Because, look, we're just fans looking into a camera, talking to other fans. It's a fan channel. We're not Sky Sports presenters, you know. Gonzo's very silly. He's very fun. I love that. You know, I can be silly. I can be angry. Whatever mood I'm in. I haven't got to fulfill a role. That's a nice thing about doing this. You can just be natural. But yesterday morning, he put out a video to say that Tomas Soucek is very much in Lopetegui'S plans for the future, and then went on to build a case around the fact that he will be front and centre of Lopetegui'S plans because he was our biggest goal threat against Aston Villa. Well, look, I'm going to give my side of it. We'll have to have a chat about this, mate. But look, my side of it is, if there are going to be moments in Lopetegui'S in his plan as he moves forward and stuff like that, where we're going to be going direct occasionally, you know, with diagonal balls, and we're going to be getting crosses in, that is what Fulkrug is going to be there for. Once Fulkrug is up to speed, he'll be the linchpin. He'll be the one that we aim at. He'll be the foil. What we saw yesterday was a manager say to a midfielder, yeah, just get out of midfield and go and stand up there. Go and spin on your chair. Spinny. Go and spin on your chair and stand up there, because you can't contest that he was our goal threat. Why wouldn't he be? He was stood in the 18-yard box for 97 minutes. He should have had some moments, but the fact is he missed 2 open goals and he got a penalty he didn't deserve because Matty Cash touched the ball. So with regards to him being our biggest goal threat, yes, we played crap. We was lumping long balls up, and he was the one that was in the box. So, of course, he was going to be our biggest goal threat. But that isn't going to be the way that we're going to play moving forwards. And certainly, if it was going to be the way that we was going to play moving forwards, it would be nothing to celebrate, because we'd be celebrating becoming a long ball team. We're not going to be a long ball team. We'll have moments in games where we mix it up, we can go direct, and yes, we will be a threat from wide areas getting crosses in. I don't believe for a second we've spent all of this money to become Stoke City. We haven't. He moved Tomas Soucek out the middle because the guy causes more harm than good. He does. So, and he is a threat when you play in a certain way as well. You've got to give him that. But there's also this thing, you know, we always get a lot of criticism. Look, it'd be really boring, wouldn't it, if we ran a fan channel to talk about a game and to talk about performances and just didn't say what we thought. You know, that's kind of the whole idea of it. You know, I'm a big advocate of freedom of expression. Freedom of speech, unlike the current government. But on this channel, we're always going to be the same. Say it as you see it. That's our God-given right. It's our God-given right to do things that way. And Tomas Soucek, I am sorry, I'm sure he's a lovely man. He's a lovely man. I've said it before, I'd love to have a cup of tea with him. But as a footballer, I can't stand him. I can't stand the effect he has on my football team that I'm really passionate about. So it does matter. It does matter. You know, Tomas Soucek, for me, if he was a bear, this would be him. Lovely and cuddly, big geezer that can probably really do you some damage because they eat bamboo, but just useless, you know, useless at what they do. So, yes, I'm sorry. I don't want to see him in the middle of the park anymore. We've got better players. If that makes me a bad person somehow, then that makes me a bad person. But we do believe in freedom of expression on this channel. Maltese Hammer. He's one of them. He's someone that sort of started on me on a previous show's comments. He's still there. I haven't blocked him. Some people I'll block. When you get unnecessarily abusive, then that's my choice to block you. It's your choice to be like that, by the way. You know, as I said, freedom of expression. But But then it's my choice to go, yeah, don't want to read that, fuck off. So that's it. Maltese Hammer's still there, you know, I don't mind. I like having the odd sort of back and forth with him because he never crosses a line. And I don't think that we do. We don't cross the line. It's literally calling it as you see it. And there is absolutely no difference between, you know, the messages that are delivered to players on social media compared to what you get in the ground. In fact, it can be even more ferocious in the ground. And it's face to face. You know, what's more personal? Talking into a camera or shouting something to a player who's trying to do something there and then. Both are fine. They're fine. But when you get one side criticising the other, not that there should be sides, although there are people that are trying to drive that divide, there are no sides. So, you know, for instance, I'm going to Palace tomorrow. I'm going to City. I'm going to Bournemouth. The only difference is probably what I'm going to have to do is re-watch those games when I get home, because I always find that I don't get a good perspective when I go and watch the game at the stadium. I don't. It depends on your seat. If you sat on a halfway line, you've got a good view, you can see everything. But if you sat behind a goal and you've got a single perspective, it does strangle your ability. It's a little bit like watching a game from behind a little tree. You know, you've got a single perspective there. I do struggle with it, and I always feel like I've got to go back and watch it on telly before. Yeah, there's certain things that you can see when you're in the ground. You know, like when the ball's up the other end and someone's scratching their arse down here. But who gives a fuck? There is no difference between people that go to the games and people that don't in terms of your opinion. Everyone's opinion is valid. Everyone's opinion is valid. And that's how this channel will treat everyone. There is no difference. We're all one family. We are. Bit of a dysfunctional family. We don't always get on. But that's just the way it is. So, no, with Tomas Soucek, it is nothing personal. It's nothing personal. With James Ward-Prowse, it's nothing personal. I just don't like them as footballers. I don't like them as footballers. That's it. It's as simple as that, you know. Right, moving on to Sam and Moyes' tippy-tappy nonsense. They did a podcast yesterday. It was just honestly, it was painful listening to it. It really was. David Moyes said the same thing that he said about 500 times in the past 2 months. Every time he speaks to someone, he says the same thing about, you know, taking West Ham from 4th to Europe and, you know, first trophy in 58,000 years and, you know, all that sort of crap and still kind of refusing to call out the owners, still blowing smoke up their arse and stuff like that. And you've got Sam Allardyce, who hates the fans anyway. I mean, what a combo. Pair of dinosaurs. Should have been called Jurassic Park, that show. It was painful listening to it, but at the same time, I did manage to listen to the podcast the whole way through because they're irrelevant now. The pair of them, they're an irrelevance. They've got an awful lot of, you talk about vitriol and hatred. They don't like the fans. They've got no time for fans whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. They spoke about the style of football, you know, just dismissing it. Oh, people talk about the West Ham way. Sam Allardyce was trying to say that Moyes played good attacking football. Well, Allardyce would think that, wouldn't he? These are the reasons why those managers are sat in a fucking podcast studio rather than on the sidelines managing a team. Because especially in the modern game, well, no, not even in the modern game, fans have always wanted to be entertained. Always. It's as simple as that. These people see no value in it. Giving in to people's passions, giving people bang for their fucking buck. It's all about them doing just enough to justify their position as a manager and no more. Not doing any more than that. So, no, pair of absolute twats. I advise that you don't watch it, but, you know, maybe it is worth a little look if you're bored. You know, I don't get as angered by David Moyes anymore. I don't, because he's gone. You know, he's not here. He's not there anymore. We've got Floppy. Right, finally, Edson Alvarez. Is he going to be ready to face Crystal Palace? Nobody knows. It was put to him in the pre-match press conference. Put to Loppy, in the pre-match press conference, and he didn't dismiss it. He said that we've got to have a look at him. He's been out. He's had a bad injury, you know, and we're gonna have a look tomorrow. So that wasn't a no. That wasn't a no, because don't forget, Romano came out and quite unusually did an injury update. In the same post, he did say underneath it that Man United and other clubs are still interested in buying the player, but he gave an injury update, which is odd for Romano. He don't normally get involved in that sort of stuff. So you would imagine that he's had a chat with someone, Tim, and they've been talking about the player. Tim must have said, yeah, he's fit, he's going to be back before the window closes potentially. So it's going to be interesting to see, because I think that we need him. We desperately need Alvarez back, you know. I do think that we're going to do Palace anyway. I've just got a really good feeling about it. Like I said, I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. for good or for bad. Speak to you all soon. Gavin New Irons.